What's up, guys? I got another reaction to Pink Book Lessons, so let's check it out.
I would just like to say that if you're feeling fuzzy, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling like you can't make it, number one, go to God. But number two, call somebody for help.
Talk to somebody.
Yeah. Talk to somebody.
You're right.
And I think that, like, as the people, we are afraid to tell people how we really, truly feel. Especially, we want everybody to think we are winning. We on the up and up. We good. It's going to be great. You can say all these positive things to yourself on Instagram and social media. But the truth is, you're dying inside. And you can't get help unless you tell someone you need help.
And that's the thing. Most modern women need help, but they never get it because they're too busy trying to act like they got it all together. And that's really them competing with other women. They get in front of each other and start lying to each other and lying to themselves. And they don't just lie to women, they lie to everybody. Just like how Tamar was lying in this video right here. And I'll explain that in a minute. But first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed.
Ain't that crazy?
But
whoa.
But why it take them so long? How long did they have to break in your car? It sounded like they were there for a whole day.
It was there for...
I gotta say, right? Just like Pink Book was saying, women live in their delusions. And society allows it. This is how it is.
33 minutes. I looked at the security
I
camera.
ain't never seen nobody break in somebody's car and go through and take their time to go through the stuff like, oh yeah, this right here look expensive. I seen.
And see, here's where Tamar started lying. She lied a few times in this interview, but her fans are so gullible, they ate it up. After she recorded this interview, but before it aired, her ex-fiance came out and said that he broke up with her, and he made sure to point out that he was not with Tamar when her car was broken into at her mama's house. She put this dramatic post up on IG. She said, I got robbed at home. I'm not safe anywhere. I don't know why I keep getting violated. I had a lot in my car because I don't live anywhere because I'm not safe anywhere or with anyone. What stood out to me right away was her saying I had a lot in my car because I don't live anywhere, but she also said that she was at home. Some of the blogs heard this and said that Tamar was homeless. And then her fiance came out and said no, he wasn't at her mama's house, which is where Tamar was when these heathens broke into her car. JR, the ex-fiance, is a lawyer with his own place, and he wanted people to know that he wasn't the one bumming out here. That, along with her post, made people believe that Tamar was, and the biggest part that stood out to me in Tamar's original statement was her saying, I don't live anywhere, I'm not safe anywhere with anyone. So I'm like, how are you not safe with anyone? And you got a whole fiance. That on top of her removing all of his pictures from social media before he even came out and confirmed that he dumped her. I knew it was over and I knew it was Tamar. Why? Because Tamar can't get along with anybody, especially straight men. She had an American man, a black man, Vince. She annoyed him. That marriage was a failure. She made her fans believe that she was upgrading by getting with the African man, David Adefeso, which was totally disrespectful to Vince, by the way. There is absolutely no man that she's been with since Vince that did for her what Vince did for her. Tamar wouldn't be where she is without Vince and his connections. It was his status and his work that got her where she is. But yeah, she moved on to David Adefeso, and we see how that ended. That engagement never went through. It was a failure, and that's Tamar's fault too. She was disrespectful to David and his mother. Then she thought that she was upgrading from David, this time to a white man. A lot of black women with these insecurity issues, they love this because deep down in their insecure minds, they want to be loved and accepted by white men. The problem is white men are generally not attracted to black women for various reasons. But a lot of these black women, they dream about having white men, mostly to try to circumvent black men's demands, until they realize that all men, for the most part, every race, every country, they want the same thing. A decent woman, a modest woman, a submissive, cooperative woman, not all that neck rolling and talking crazy like what Tamar and women like her.
This is the thing, right? Women are just, let's say this, right? In this case, black women are ridiculous. Thinking that, okay, hey, I'm going to go with a white man or an Asian man because they want something different than the black men. No, they don't. You know, it's funny. I saw this video of a black woman saying, I don't know, she made a video saying that, like, you can't act up when you want to, if you want to date with a white man. You can't be aggressive. You can't be what you would normally be with a black man. So, in general, black women know that they can't pull the same shit with other races because that's not going to fly. Men essentially want the same thing. Don't matter what race of man you are. That's I keep on saying. It don't matter. It don't matter if you're black, white. What we all have the same issues, right? We essentially want a lot of the same things. And if you, as a black woman, pull the same BS that you would pull with, let's say, a black man, and you think if you pull the same thing, you would think you get different results. That's insanity. That's the thing, right? Isn't that the definition of insanity when you do the exact same thing and expect different results? That's the thing.
Are known for.
Whatever. No, it wasn't. But I had parked in the guest parking. So I picked up the hair clip and I opened the door. We running late. And my son is getting in. I'm like, ho. The car was completely trashed. I moved from LA to Atlanta. Number one, I was doing a series, but I was never going to sell my house in LA.
Right.
I ended up selling my house in LA because while I was here, my house got robbed.
Wow. So you got to get better security system.
I mean, listen, I have security.
Yes.
But things happen.
It's a target.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why I say I don't feel safe.
And I'm pissed off with the comment section.
What you mean?
I mean, the comment section is just crazy because one part. Okay, so let's go back with what you said on your post. I can't
feel safe
verbatim. I don't feel safe
anywhere.
You said anywhere, and you said something about the living situation. I think that's what kind of threw people off.
Okay, so let me just go back. Okay. So I moved from LA to Atlanta. Number one, I was doing a series, but I was never going to sell my house in LA. My house, and then I'm at my house, and then sometimes you get caught up in like the weeks going by, like putting things in your car and keeping moving. I know you got kids or whatever.
Yeah, Tamar was living like a junkie, moving her junk from place to place and talking about sometimes she was at JR's house, sometimes she was at her mama's house, sometimes she was at her own house. She's also not fully telling the truth there, and that's another problem. How long did she know this guy? She did not know him long enough to, one, be engaged already, and two, to be having this man around her son. That's the same thing I said about David at Efeso. Her and a lot of selfish single mothers just like her, they do this thing where they introduce all these men, everybody they're dealing with. Anytime they lay down with somebody, they're bringing them around their children. I don't care what anybody says. I don't agree with it. It's wrong. It's out of order. If you want to hop around from man to man every year and dragging your child along with you to these men's houses or having them come up in your house, just give the child to their father. Because obviously you're not thinking about your children. You're thinking about yourself.
Yo.
Keep it moving. Then I didn't change cars for like 2 or 3 weeks. And it just was like a cumulative.
They dumped her. By the time she did this interview, she had already broken up with her fiance. In fact, she just came out and said that her car was broken into the same day that she lost her relationship. So here she is doing this interview and she's talking about her car being broken into, and she went into this interview calling these folks her friends and lied to them and their audience right there. This woman said that yes, she was in a relationship, but do you see how she went on this interview and told a flat out lie?
So you and JR still together?
Well, yeah.
Again, her fiance had already dumped her, but she's trying to save face right now in this interview, trying to make it seem like all is well and they're still together when they're not.
So you and JR still together?
Well, yeah.
But
why is that a question?
Because he's not on your page. I looked on your page.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, here we go. Now, see,
Yeah.
Why he's not on your page?
Yeah, well, he's not on my page because I just felt like at that time he didn't show up like he should have. Or I expected him to.
Okay.
And so y'all.
And I got upset about that.
But see,
But I think that was one of the things in the
You
post.
said show up for what? Well, when you
Show
get
up
robbed,
for-
you show up. Like,
oh, he didn't show up when you got robbed?
okay, I said the way. Okay, come on.
He didn't show up.
Okay, but you have to understand, so I'm going to take self-accountability,
Okay.
and I'm going to blame a lot on my trauma. I'm going to blame a lot on...
You know, it just goes more and more, right? You know what? I cannot change my view on how I believe that as women get older, they get harder to deal with. They do not fix what makes them hard to deal with. They do not fix what has made them fail in every relationship they've had. And that's why I say they get harder and harder to deal with. You would expect, right? As you get older, you get more wise, right? You should get smarter, right? You should know things better. But they just get more delusional. That's the thing, right? Women just get more delusional. I mean, especially if they haven't had a wake-up call, right? No, it's like maybe rock bottom kind of thing, right? If they haven't, they're just going to keep on chugging along with what they've been doing. And it's shown, right? I've seen it time and time again. You know, these older women are they're just repeating the mistakes over and over again.
How I was feeling and holding other people accountable for things that they didn't have any responsibility of doing.
Oh, you okay. If you would have been here, they wouldn't have robbed my car.
Well, not if you would have been here, but, you know, like expecting people to like drop. What are you going to do at this point?
Right. Come with the guns. Go look at the
guns and do what? The people are gone.
They're gone.
She's saying accountability out of her mouth. She's not really taking accountability for herself.
Okay, but you have to understand. So I'm going to take self-accountability, and I'm going to blame a lot on my trauma.
She's just repeating trauma over and over instead of blaming her own actions and using that as deflection so she could get a pass for her out-of-control behavior, her disrespectful mouth. And Tamar, that may work with your lost, rebellious fangirls, but that is not going to work with a man. That's why he's not with you anymore. You got dumped.
It's crazy.
Like, you know.
So I guess it's fair to say.
But JR's a great guy. Listen, JR's a great guy. He's great to my son.
So shout out,
and he's a great father to his kids.
So don't be trying to point out nothing and speculate.
No, and even if it was something for a second, I'm not gonna get nowhere and dog him out.
But you took him off the page to a man.
Yeah, I took him off the page in that moment.
That's not cool.
That's stripping your marriage. That's stripping a man of his marriage.
Don't take me off your page. Don't change my name in your phone to something crazy when you get mad at me.
I'm all the way changing your name when I'm mad.
Whoa.
Everybody do that.
And so what does it...
That's what females do.
It's safe to say.
Here we go with this baby bot bimbo babble. No, that's what toxic little girls do. And you know her brainless fans saw this. They were all in the comments talking about growth. 1, this is not growth. And 2, this is not a changed woman. This is more.
That's the thing, right? Women, they always help feed women in their delusions. Women are so dangerous. Women are dangerous to other women. They pretty much feed women's delusions, right? And that's the thing, right? So that's why, like I said, right? Why would he have a wake-up call when other women are just there to pretty much back you up and feed into your delusions? So you're not feeling, oh, maybe I should change, or maybe I should evolve, maybe I should, wise up. No, because people are like, no, you go, girl. No, he's wrong. All this shit. And then, okay, you know what? Maybe that's right. Maybe, things are what it is. It's just, thing. Here, let's try this is kind of a part 2. So.
Yeah, we're just regular DMV girls, you know?
So you gonna stay in Atlanta?
I'm on assignment in Atlanta.
So, okay. No. So we talking about this assignment. We talking about this series. Yeah. We got to be talking about Queen's Court, all the Queen's Men. What's it called?
I'm not on that show. That's where I met JR.
That's what. Well, okay. You met JR on this show.
I can't stand you, Jack. Where's you going with this?
Nah.
Apparently, the Queen's Court show stole that title from Kaya and T.S. Madison. Evil Evelyn Lozada was on there, and toxic Tamar Braxton was too. They supposedly met these men on the show who proposed to them, but none of those relationships worked because they are both toxic, crazy, scatterbrained women. And every time Tamar sensed the conversation was about to get to her ex-fiance JR, she was asking Jock, where is this going? Because she's thinking that he knows the truth and they will say it out loud. By this point in the interview, she had already lied to them. Jock and Shawty already suspected that their relationship was over, and when they questioned her about it, she lied and said this.
So you and JR still together?
Well, yeah.
So yeah, we established that was a lie in part 1 of the video. If you missed it, the link is below for you to check it out after this video. In the comment section of my last video, you had modern women trying to find a way to defend this foolishness as always, no matter if all the receipts are there. Tamar saying this herself, which is totally different from what she came out and said the other day, and also different after her ex-fiance exposed the truth. But that won't stop these modern women from defending the lie. This one right here said, I saw a video where she was speaking about the breakup between her and her fiance. She felt sad and was shocked. During that interview, is it possible that she was still in a state of shock and had not fully accepted their breakup at the time? And no, this woman is not talking about a little girl. She's talking about a grown woman. This is how they know they're...
This is, what is it? Like, she's 46. You make it seem like there's, like, I mean, if you're not emotionally, calibrated or, like, state of shock, I mean, come on. It's like, really? You're 46. I mean, it's like, it's like, I feel like that's like an immature behavior, right? Being in a state of shock about a breakup. It's like, and this is the thing, right? Women will. This is why women don't have a wake up call. This is why women don't really hit rock bottom, because other women will feed into your delusion, make you, just think what you want to think, and actually just prop you up, right? And don't let you fall, because God forbid, you fall and then you pick yourself back up, right? By realizing, your mistakes, realizing things you need to fix, realizing, what you want in the future, right? Things that you want to change, right? God forbid, it wakes you up. But no, it don't wake you up, because women will keep you in your delusion bubble. This is the thing, right? They're giving excuses, right? Giving excuses to people, especially women. Make up excuses, give them excuses so, they can find a way out. And so they don't have to, face reality.
Delusional. The commenter went on to say, it's how she answered for me that makes me question whether she just flat out lied about their breakup. It came off as if she wasn't completely sure. She wasn't sure, but she came out telling everybody that they broke up the same day that she was burglarized. She went on to tell me that people aren't perfect, and said, no, I'm not a fan of Tamar or any celebrity. However, I do recognize an emotionally troubled person when I see one. I responded to her, a lie is a lie. If you got dumped days ago and somebody asked you if you broke up and you said you're still together, it's called a lie. It's not about being perfect. It's simply a lie. This woman is pushing 50. Elementary kids could decipher this better. And Tamar is never going to change because she's got a bunch of idiots that defend and support her nonsense every time.
This is the thing, right? Like what I said, why would women need to change anything when other people, right, which people use this social media for validations, using social media to, keep them deluded, because women will constantly keep you deluded, So why change? Because everyone says that, you're great, you're perfect, or you know what, you don't have to worry. That man is the fault and all this shit.
And then this commenter made a great.
You're 10, right? How modern women constantly say, girl, you're a 10. Perfect.
Point, and said, so if a man that you dumped was going around telling people that y'all are still together, would you assume he's in shock? And let me tell you, this woman doesn't have to be a fan of a celebrity to condone and defend their behavior. This is not about celebrities, because Tamar is Z-list anyway. This is about the modern sisterhood being on call no matter what. And ladies, if you wonder why you're always failing in life when you want to win, look around at the company you keep. You are either one, surrounded by a bunch of enablers that just go along to get along and don't check your foolishness, or you're surrounded by like-minded losers. And if everybody...
And this is the thing, right? How my video, other men's video, we essentially are trying, are in our own way keeping women accountable, right? Or at least keeping the things women say accountable. And we are waking up other men to that, right? So men can see the delusion, right? Not feed into women's delusions like other women are doing. That's the thing. That's why I love these videos, right? Why I love doing these videos. Why I've watched these videos. How Pink Book Lessons, right? She's an amazing woman, right? Keeping other women accountable for the things they do, the actions they make, and the crap they say. I'm doing exactly the same. I'm no one special. I'm not that big or anything, but in my small little corner of YouTube, that's what I'm doing, right? Keeping women accountable for the shit they say and the shit they done.
Around you stay taking L's, well, you're gonna hold some too. You are who you hang around. But yeah, I knew that video was gonna bring out the dramatic, delusional, toxic femininity, and they didn't disappoint either in the comment section. They did what I expected them to do. So we're back with part 2, Tamar Braxton. She went on the Streets Morning Takeover featuring Young Jock and Shawty, produced out of Atlanta. They're in a lot of different markets now. Tamar stopped through to get some publicity after her car was burglarized in a visitor spot of what she called a highly secured building off of Paces Ferry in Atlanta, where these heathens took well over 30 minutes to steal from her. And that right there is sketchy too. This woman is 46 years old, going on 13. I know 25-year-old women with a higher level of maturity than her, and that's a shame. These are the ones continuing to sabotage the younger women. We're going to get into the next part of this interview where Tamar continues to highlight her own delusion. But first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel.
Everybody's like intention is not to find love. I definitely didn't go on there to find love. Will Packer called me and I went on there because my sister just passed and, I didn't really want to do that much. And he was like, this will be good for you and you single anyway. Just see what happens. And
what if you find out that Will set you up?
Like, what you mean?
What if him and JR had already talked? He was like, yeah. He was like, man, I can probably
that's
put that
between
together.
him and God, because God don't play about me.
I'm not setting you up bad. I'm saying he's like, it's like Will and JR homies.
Yeah.
JR like,
well,
man, I would love her.
Other.
Oh, okay.
They didn't know each other for sure. But I don't know. I think sometimes you have to check people's intention. You know what I mean? Some people really do get with you because they want to come up.
So did he get at you or you got at him?
He got
don't
at me.
act. Wait, don't act because sometimes established women.
Oh, I don't do that.
You don't?
No, I'm not one of those.
So you want to approach a guy?
No, I don't go half on no dates, and I'm not swiping. I'm not doing like if I I don't do that.
Tamar, don't do that.
So
I'm not doing
you
that.
can date a man that made
Tamar,
I'm not doing
I'll put you up here.
No, I've dated men who made less than I.
Yeah.
JR.
Do you think? Okay.
She's talking about not going 50-50. And yeah, she's saying that now, but right now she's going 100-0. Dating pool is going down, so eventually she's going to be 100-0 in a relationship as well. She confirmed that JR made less money than her. He wasn't the only one. Everyone made less money than her since Vince. Vince is the one who put her in that position in the first place to even be up here talking like this right now. And the wannabe boss chicks like Tamar, they believe they can get a man making less money and control the relationship. But as we see, 9 times out of 10, those situations fail. When you have a woman thinking her money puts her in control of a man, it's gonna always fail. Her African ex proved that. And then she got with a white man and he proved it too. Men don't care about that. Respect is number one. And he's going to get it in order for him to stay around. Doesn't matter if you're the Chick-fil-A girl or...
And that's the thing, right? It don't matter. In a man's eye, it really don't matter if she makes more. Because really, you don't spend the money on him, right? You still, even if you make more, you still expect him to spend money on you. You still expect him to pay for dates. You still expect him to be the provider, okay? Even though you don't need providing for since you make so much. This is the thing where men don't really care at all. Like, unless you are spending your money on him, right? Where he doesn't have to spend anything, that's a different story. But most women, even if they make more, you still have to show up with money. This is the thing, because women in general don't spend money on men. At best, they spend, it's 50-50, right? At best, they just split it where they spend money on themselves and you spend money on you. That's at best. But for them to spend money on you, good luck. And this is why men don't care. I'm surprised. I didn't know that she makes a lot of money, but it's whatever. I mean, the guy is the lawyer. He's not dying for her money, right? It looks like he owned a law firm, right? So really, it's like he doesn't care. Even if he makes less than her, he's not needing her money. So really, it don't matter.
Are part of a tiny group of millionaire women. You're going to be a feminine, respectful, cooperative woman with a decent attitude, or he's gone. He'll date a woman on a dirt road with a nice, clean attitude and mouth before he look at you.
Okay, and do you think a man...
Why you laughing?
I done put you up here on this pedestal, Tamar.
Well, y'all want me to be
honest? You mean to tell me you ain't gonna go half on a date if you got to?
I'm not going half on a date.
Even if you make more than him?
It's either I'm gonna pay for it or you're gonna pay for it. But we're not splitting nothing in half.
What's the significance?
I'm not doing that. I think that is classless and tasteless, and I don't think you consider me much.
Classless and tasteless? The irony of this woman calling anybody classless when every time she's shown up on TV or wherever, she's been trying her best to imitate the most gutter Baltimore chick. And I say imitate because she didn't even really come from there. She's not from the streets or the projects, but she's been imitating these project chicks. Her saying that going 50-50 is classless or tasteless or corny. This is how they shame men into doing what they want them to do. But never do you ever hear her say that women being loud and disrespectful and uncooperative. She's not going to tell you that's classless or tasteless. Why? Because she'll be talking about herself.
Who comes up with this?
Who came up with let's go half? Oh, you spent that's your daiquiri. That was $6.99.
Now ain't nobody doing all that. Go ahead on. Ain't nobody doing all that.
We ain't doing that.
We ain't talking about that.
I'm not doing that.
I'm talking about.
It's corny. It's corny. You know what else I think is corny?
What's that?
I think that men has become very, very comfortable and not taking care of their women. Like if you don't get out of the car and it's time for me to go get gas, it's over with.
Oh, you going to get gas?
If I go to get gas and we in the car and I'm driving,
so I have a rule.
He get out the car.
I have a rule.
You go get the gas.
I have a rule.
And here's what's so crazy to me about these women with the modern woman feminist mindset. They love to cherry pick traditional values while still subscribing to modern woman values at the same time. If you're a traditional woman in a relationship with a traditional man, 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't even be driving the car in the first place. Your man is going to be driving you. And of course, your man will be the one to get out and pump the gas. But we see this time and time again, all the time. They want the same authority as men, but don't want the same responsibility. If you want to drive your man around like you're the man, then get out and pump the gas like you're the man. If you want to be feminine, stay in the passenger seat at all times. Don't control the vehicle. Now, of course, if you're alone, that's different. But she's talking about being with men, being in the driver's seat. She's got the man in the passenger seat, and then being upset when they get to a gas station and he's still in that same role, the passenger role. So no wonder when you get to the gas station, he's still looking at you like you the man. Don't even put yourself in that position in the first place. Personally, I'm not touching the gas pump. But when we're in a vehicle together, I'm also not touching the steering wheel. And I know this may seem small, like it's just driving. A lot of this is mental, but these little small things of control and access, they could turn into big issues in your relationship. So it's not as simple as pumping gas and driving. It's more than that. She's confirming how modern women think when it comes to gender roles and control. They want to be in control, but throw away all accountability and responsibility. That's a common theme with them.
But if you stay in the car, I never want to see you again.
You had that happen to you?
What?
Atlanta
is a very
so I got a rule though, Tamar. I got a rule.
Got robots.
When you talk,
men is robots.
She said Atlanta men are robots? Well, that would also make you a machine. It's just amazing how these non-traditional masculine women can repeat all day how the men they're dealing with are not being traditional when they are not traditional women. They are not submissive, they are not cooperative or obedient, and just like Tamar, they are always yelling about God this and God that when they are even disobedient to him too. They don't follow his orders, which is the main reason why they keep failing in life and finding themselves in ridiculous, embarrassing situations. They are fake religious people. They follow the devil, and that's why these demons are always riding their backs. You're in these abnormal situations because you're abnormal yourself. It's your energy, ladies. Steve Harvey got y'all heads messed up. You run around thinking like a man. Now y'all acting like a man. So of course, with your behavior, you're choosing to be with the type of man that you're with because you want to dominate. That's why you put yourself in that position in the first place. You want a weak man so you can run over him and do whatever you want to do.
Oh, you going to get gas?
If I go and get gas and we in the car,
I go put gas in her car. I'm gonna fill it up.
You're a gentleman.
She ain't gonna even have to worry about touching the gas pump.
Yeah, but how long you been married?
2 years.
Yeah, they have changed within 2 years.
I've been married.
You say what?
Things have changed within 2 years.
I've been married 90 days. I've been married
90 days.
Yes,
yeah,
you're
changed
engaged.
90 days too.
You're
changed
engaged.
90.
Probation period.
You're engaged, right?
Yes.
So when y'all would you do reality TV again? With JR?
Okay, so we have a YouTube show specifically because every network basically came to us to do a show,
right? Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't feel comfortable because I have to be in control of the content that we put out and what we have kids, I mean, and what they see and and a lot of people are not cheering for you, especially here in Atlanta. They really want to see you lose and break up, and they want to see scandal.
They want to see the mess.
You know what I mean? Now,
was you in that?
And I'm so sick of her saying this. This was not a robbery. She's been repeating this for 3 weeks now. Robbery involved Atlanta. Go back to Maryland or something. Go to PG County or Baltimore.
That's the thing, right? I mean, you guys can finish if you want. I mean, watch the rest. This is a thing where here's a woman, right? I guess you could call it successful, right? She's at least wealthy, right? It don't mean much to a man. That's not going to say you being wealthy won't secure you a man, or at least a good man. And this is the thing, right? I've talked to, I've gone on dates with women, career women like late 30s, right? And it just comes off that you're just so, when you become career focused or when you be masculine, you become the man, you essentially become men, right? With your attitude, with your way of thinking, it just makes you unattractive. It makes you harder to deal with. Like I said, I've seen so many of Kendra G's show, right? Where you see the older women, you see women in their late 30s, 40s, all these things, right? And you see why they're still single. You can see how any man coming into her life would not have a fun time, right? Would not see this as relationship material because they're hard to deal with. And they're so expectant when they provide very little. This is the thing, right? Here's a woman that, what does she provide? She's 46, right? She ain't gonna provide no family for the man. And really, her attitude and her personality is really just not attractive. I think the white man was idiotic. I mean, I think he was just doing it just to do it, right? Just to, I don't know. I mean, he's well off, right? He's wealthy. So, I guess it was just a waste of, like an activity to do, right? But really, it's just, I see no value. So I'm surprised wealthy men, would even try for this. So, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But it's just crazy that I see more and more. Like, all these videos, all the dating videos, women are... And that's why, right? I've said it plenty of times before. And that there's been studies that women in the next 10 years from now, in the next 10 years, women will be more single than ever. Childless and single. I would say there's no surprise when dating is so easy for women and yet they will fail at it. That's telling. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, later.